Well, they're expecting 3 inches of snow, but without the temperature going below 32, it'll just turn straight to water. Well, since that scare of the 3 inches of rain, nobody came and bought up all the bread. Hey, do me a favor and get that right there. I'll get the bread. Actually, you just grab the bread. I'll grab this right here. Okay.
How many pounds is that? 13 pounds?
Right.
So I gotta like double bag it up. Then my toothbrushes are getting a little bit nasty.
Probably. All right, should be open.
Oh no, don't fall in my beard.
And what are we adding? Oh. Don't
Worcestershire sauce.
Worcestershire. We don't know how to say it, but Worcestershire chicken. It's very good.
Yay.
Okay. And it looks like a rainy day. I'll be dropping food at your doorstep. But first, an advertisement from Taco Bell. Got a couple burritos. Get reward points. Right, we're somewhere coming from the west side, and we'll be going to Camp Bowie, to a little place called McAllister, to pick up this meat and the sandwich and drop it at your doorstep. Welcome to the Please Subscribe show. Fine. We got 29.22 on the zone. Almost $30 for a low beam. So to do a low beam replacement on this right here. Since I'm in the middle of delivery, I did not get to show that, but I had to replace the front left low lamp. Sylvania bulb is what they went with. And because of how the Koreans are, little niche right there, because they make that side so small by the front, it's very difficult to replace if it's on the left side. Right side's a little bit easier, but the left side is very cramped, so it niched me right there. They need to fix that. Note to Kia. That was the other little boo-boo right here. Gary Oldman, but listen to every word I'm just joking. I'm not a hard ass. I'll take improv from the actors big time, and ideas from the actors. Always take ideas from the actors. That's why Jaws was so successful. Robert Shaw had so many ideas when he did Jaws, and Spielberg was lucky to get to work with him. Actors that give ideas are the best. So I welcome all the ideas, script writing, rewriting, all kinds of stuff. As long as it tells true to the heart of the story that he thinks it is, or whoever thinks the story is, you know. I'm all for ideas. I love ideas from the actors. I'm not as hard as William Shakespeare's people, as you say, because, you know, in a Shakespeare play you have to stick to the script. But I am appreciative of writers, so I do appreciate the writing. Now I'm going to show the scratch on my hand right here. There, it's barely a little boo-boo, and I got to pick up this sushi and drop it off at your doorstep.
Approaching a railroad crossing.
I know, we're always approaching a railroad crossing. Approaching a railroad crossing. I just think there's more to the script than what is there. I think the same thing with Shakespeare. And, you know, here's the thing that people don't understand about Shakespeare. Shakespeare didn't write it. The folio was not written by Shakespeare. It was written by the actors. The actors wrote Shakespeare. All those pages and those roles were remembered. And that's how they wrote the folio. It was written by actors. That's why I love writing, is because it's done by the actors. I always have the actors' frame of mind in my head when I'm writing. It's the actors that's speaking, or as much as I can. Although I know that Oldman has a different rogue than what probably I wrote down for Gerald Oldmain III. I know there's a different rogue, meaning a different language. So I'm welcome to changes, always. I'd be a big smile on my face, and I would say, I love it. I love the idea. I love it. Now tell me about it. At heart, it is a werewolf movie, but it's not really about a werewolf, if you know what I mean. It's about relationships and humanity. It's about people acting truthful in imaginary circumstances. We made it. Kanapalo ramen for your doorstep. Yeah. And I was replacing that. I was like bleeding like a stuck pig, kind of. I was like, hey, could you help me change my line? I had this mask on. The guy was like, no, I'm not feeling it. The older guy helped me. Thank you to the older guy in AutoZone over there. Appreciate it. Very helpful. The other guy, younger guy, just, I don't know, it was raining. I don't blame him. They just have to sell the parts. The old guy went out there and snapped it off for me, and then I put it back in. I put the light back in, and I appreciated it. He just went out there, didn't care about the rain or anything. He knew I was in some trouble. Appreciate those types. They usually make the best of everything. When it comes down to soldier, father, parent, writer, artist, you want to work with the old people if you can. They're usually the best at it. All this grease off my hands. I just skinned the crap. My left hand actually is, this one's the one I broke when I was younger on a wall. I hit it on a wall. But this one works a little bit better. I was able to get it in there and jiggle it. But when I reached under, the same mistake that I made the first time. The same exact mistake. I reached under there for the carriage, what Adam the Woo was talking about, under his car, where when you're doing the oil change, you don't always put the caps on there, so it brings the plastic part of the carriage down, and it ends up scraping on the ground. The problem was it's sharp because it's been cut. I don't know if the Koreans didn't think about that in the design, but it'll cut you. It's sharp. So when you reach in there, it cuts you. So I put on the gloves, and then I took the gloves off. So I shouldn't have done that. And that was my mistake. Oh well. We're waiting about 10 minutes on this ramen. Kind of a comic book feel right here on these walls right here. Here's the artist right here. Alright, this is the West 7th Bridge, which I adore. I think this bridge is great. The lighting, everything about it. And they just reinstated this lighting too. It was dark for a while. It's a nice little fixture. Blue and purple. The water ponding. Right over by the 7-Eleven I like to go to. It's kind of it's one of those 7-Elevens where you can only go inside. There's no, well, you go inside of it, but there's no gas. It's just like a it's more of just a convenience store only. Right off by Pier 7th. It's a really nice shot of Fort Worth too. It's right on the same place Righteous is. There's Righteous. We've been to Righteous. This is, I really like this right here. And also on 13mm right there. It's very nice. And then goes into regular and then zoom. And that's the 7-Eleven I was talking about. So it's a nice little shot right here. They're building a new structure right here. So this is definitely a go right here. It took me a while to find that right there. It's right going looking into West 7th on Bel Air. That's what that is, Bel Air. My mechanical situation is kind of hard to explain. So on each one of the low beam lights, usually it takes a Sylvania. It's kind of like a halogen bulb a little bit, but it takes a bulb. I was able to replace that without any problems. I usually do it myself. I did a vlog on it, but they had this little cap, and I probably showed the cap in the vlog. And there's not a lot of space for, I'd say, like a regular American Anglo-Saxon man's hand, a male hand, as in an Anglo-Saxon male hand to reach back there. If you have tiny little hands, then you probably could, you know, be able to grab this cap. It doesn't give you a lot of space. So what happens is when you're twisting the cap, and it's kind of pressure oriented, so once you get it fastened, it's secure in there, almost like a vacuum almost, because the bulb goes in there. And when you take the cap off and you pull it, if your hands are as big as my hands, and I play guitar, you grab it and you twist it like this and pull it out, and it just fumbles away and goes into the catch-all at the bottom of the car, which is a little plastic thing, which is where it's at. I just saw it. I went to a 7-Eleven. Two piggies were kind of driving around looking for their dream. The dreams of the piggies. They drive around looking all day. Anyway, it fell down there, and I had to look in there, and I found it. So I'll have to just wait till the next oil change, because they can take that off when they jack the car up, whatever you call it. They raise the car up. They can take the little plastic thing and reach in there. I have to have them do that. I saw it though. I saw it in there. I finally saw it. But when I moved in there, the part that's cut is only halfway cut. It's halfway ripped. So it's very difficult to describe. I'd have to show you. That's the part that can cut your hand because it's plastic. Well, it just kind of cut the skin on the hand. So I had to get a boo-boo thing right here, a little Band-Aid. But I was able to locate the cap at the bottom where the plastic catch-all is. It's like a little plastic covering at the bottom. And a couple guys in a pickup truck had gone in there and asked them for like a directional flashlight, but they only had the flashlight on the phone, so I could better spot it. And I was able to finally spot it with my flashlight on the phone. So I don't know. I'm gonna wait another 1,000 miles or so, and then I'll put the cap on there, because there's no reason to go crazy over a little plastic cap that is, I don't even know if the Koreans designed it the way all the other American cars are designed. I'm sure they're about similar, only they probably allow a little more room for a male hand to go in there and move it. I'm not saying my hands are as big as like a basketball player's hands or anything, but you know, they're, for a 6-foot male, you know, it's just, you reach in there, you don't have a lot of room to work with it. So the back part of the cap fell to the bottom of where it catches things for those purposes. Whoops, hang on for a minute. Thing I want to say just to all the filmmakers and producers and the artists, making a movie is not that big of a deal. It's not that big of a deal. Having children is a big deal. And I have 3 of them. That is a big deal. You can make all the movies in the world and just be blah, 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 blah. Look at all my movies, blah, blah, blah. Alfred Hitchcock, all day long. Be the biggest celebrity in the world. It doesn't matter. It's no big deal at all. Not compared to being a father and having children. That's a big deal. And I have 3 of them. Just a little thing right here. 36 degrees Fahrenheit. So if it were to snow or something, just turn right to water. And we're at about 168,260.